What's up, everybody? We are live. This is the 88th episode of What You Drinking. My name is Mike Copera with PodcastCondition.com, and here with some special guests and some regulars. We got Dan, and we've got Chris, and we got AJ. What's going on, guys? How you guys all doing tonight?
Doing well, thank you.
Doing great.
Doing just fine.
I know you guys do all the. You guys got such fancy intros on your Sunday show. I don't know, you guys go on and on, but Mr. Liquid Bread is here, Chris, and we got to meet up this weekend. So before we get into some stories, what we landed on the wheel last weekend. We spun sours, so we've got some sours. I know I've got one, and AJ's got four that he wants to list off, and we're gonna have to choose which one he's gonna pop open for us. It sounds like. How about you guys, Dan or Chris? Did you guys find yourself with a sour for tonight, or did you switch up on style?
No, actually, mine is the canned beer from last week, and it happened to be a sour too. So I was already set. Woohoo!
Nice, yeah. You had to take a little time off, and you're back on now.
Yep.
That looks like a Blue Sunday Sour from New Holland. That Mike's got.
Sure. This is the new one. I've got a 2014 in the closet, and I bought a second 15. So I want to see what this is like fresh, because I didn't even drink this last year.
It looks like we're gonna have a New Holland night, I think.
Not for me. No.
Yeah. Neither here.
I tried to find one of my old ass crack Dark Horse ones they released in the their, what is it called, 4Elf weekend or night or whatever, and I must have drank all mine, so I had to go with the New Holland.
Oh, okay.
You could have had that like the dragon fruit.
Yeah, that was nasty.
Dragon fruit sour that they had. That was awesome.
Dude, this smells amazing. Have you guys had this fresh, or do you guys usually age it?
I've had it fresh, but not this year's.
Yeah, I had last year's fresh, not this year's.
The last time I had that fresh was like 2012. So it's been a while.
This is really fucking good. I like this.
Oh yeah, that is some good shit.
All right, so I have two Anderson Valley Goes, a Westbrook Goes, and a Homebrew Creek. Which one do you guys want me to go with?
Well, you're brewing, man. I want to see your. Let's see your homebrew. I want to see your creek.
But it's not mine.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
It was a mistake beer.
Okay, oh, wait a minute. Then we might want to go to the goes, or we may just want to see what your face does when you open up the creek.
Oh no, all right. So the story behind this, I don't know if you guys know Steven Schrader. He's on Google Plus. Barefoot Lion Brewing. He I think he started trying to make a red ale, and it got infected. So he repitched the red ale with a bunch of fruit and with like a Russian River yeast, and came out with this beer that he thought was terrible at first. Gave it a couple bottles of it. 6 months later, it tasted like a Cantillon. So it's like literally one of the best creeks I've ever had, but it's a complete mistake, and he can never replicate it again because he has no idea what happened to it.
That's awesome.
So it's legit sour. Like literally, if you poured it in a Cantillon bottle and like recorked it and caged it, it'd be hard to tell the difference.
Wow.
Crazy. So how old is that?
3 years maybe.
Wow.
It's like 3 years old.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say open that. That's ready to open, I think.
I'll do it. Yeah.
Unless you don't want to. Unless you wanted to hang on to that for.
I have 2 or 3 more bottles downstairs. It's all good. It's a gusher.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, the only complaint I have, I don't need this foil on the bottle. It's
They
kind
do
of
it to every bottle they have. It's not just not that one.
I know. I'm just not a fan of that anymore.
Arcadia started doing that on their shipwreck porters this year for some reason.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know if I've got one.
I thought they always did that.
With foil on the shipwreck? No.
Yeah, they got rid of the.
Wax on the bourbon barrel.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
no,
right.
they got rid of the wax and went to foil this year, and it's really loose foil. It's not like this New Holland foil where it's real tight. It almost falls right off, like it comes off, and it's like kind of like a, excuse my French, used condom. It like falls right off, and you're like, what the hell?
That looks good, AJ.
Yeah, you know what? It's a great color. I don't know if you guys can see it that far, but it's got a really nice, almost pinkish tone to it. It has a little bit of floaties in it, or yeasties, as I like to call them. Very funky smell on it.
Nice.
It's. I'm gonna taste it. I haven't had one in about 6 months, but
The dog's getting a nice drink.
Yeah, I was gonna say, of course my dog comes in, they'll drink some
this,
more in my
this
house.
is real. This is real nice, man. It's still holding up. It's faded a little bit. I don't know if you can put it in a Cantillon bottle and pass it off as a Cantillon anymore, but it's legit. It's probably the best mistake beer I've ever had from somebody as far as a homebrew goes. It's a really nice cherry. I think he actually put some raspberry in it too, so it's almost like a Hawaiian punch fruit mix sour. It's nice though.
Yeah, mine.
Of course,
I was gonna.
apple white glass too. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Korsnok apple white, but if not, find it and drink it because it's delicious.
What's that called?
Korsnok apple white. It's I think they do it year round now, but like most people are familiar with the Korsnok Abbey Blonde and Abbey Brown, but they do have apple white. I think it's about 2.3% or 3.2%. I could have those mixed up. Expensive, but definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Has a little bit of sourness to it. Really great apple flavor. But the glass is great for sours.
Nice. That's nice. I realized like I have a lot of my glassware still in storage, and half of it's not gonna even fit in my kitchen that I'm in now. So I didn't have a really a proper glass, but I wanted to get something in this kind of a shape. But this is a lot darker than I expected it. When I'm looking through the light, it appears almost like a stout on the camera now that I'm looking at it, but
It really does actually. I don't remember it being that dark.
It's not really. I mean, it's definitely got it's a dark red when I'm looking through the light. But yeah, it's coming off on the camera. It looks like it's a stout or something. But yeah, it's really got a sweet smell at first, but then it quickly like changes. But it's man, it's fucking good. It's a good sour, and now I don't know how long I want to hang on to the 14 I've got, but man, it's fucking good.
I'll tell you. I would recommend at least 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a 5-year-old and a 6-year-old, and I like the 5 better than the 6. I think 5 is probably right at the breaking point of prime. So I'd say probably between 4 and 5 was really nice time to age that.
And does it lose much of the oak during all that time, or are you just kind of looking for the sour to change?
Actually, it's I think fresh, and again, I haven't had fresh since 2012. So tell me, is it very oak forward right now?
Yeah, I can smell it and taste it.
Okay, so what happens is you lose the smell on it, but the oak mellows out, so you get a really nice balance of oak and blueberry. And then you get hit at the back end with that like sour twinge to it. So it's a little more smooth. The aroma's more appealing if you're not a big oak head. But it balances out really nice with that like 4 to 5 year aging on it.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh God.
Chris is volunteering his next.
What'd you do?
I wasn't ready for this sour yet. My taste buds were still in like. I tried to taper down. I I had my IPA, homebrew IPA tonight about 2 hours ago, and then I'm like, all right, I'll have this Belgian triple. That'll kind of wind off the hops a little bit, get me closer to the sour. But it wasn't. It was too much of a step. It was like missing the last step on a flight of stairs, and you're like, whoa! So, this is.
You tripped over a sour.
What's that?
Said you tripped over a sour.
Basically, yeah. I'm trying to see what year this is. I think it's just last year's. This is New Holland's Incorrigible.
Okay.
I've never had that.
This is a white sour ale. It's their cellar series. I had another one in there too, but I didn't think it was quite going to be as sour as this. It's a 2011. It's the one that starts with an E, like intangible. Or
Envious?
Envious, maybe. Yeah, it's got a bunch of fruit in it. So I was like, yeah, we'll go with this one because it says sour on the front. So the other one I didn't know if it was going to be sweet.
I think I have that exact bottle, the 14. Because I didn't see that one out here in Chicago, but
there's the. But it doesn't say a year. I'm looking right now, and ale aged on oak. God, I'm waiting for my glasses. I get finally going to glasses here. Certainly, I'm that fucking old. Bottle of New Holland. Blah blah blah. We don't give a shit about that. I don't know if I can read the back here. It's in fucking like .1 font. So.
What's the ABV?
It doesn't say that either on the back. I'll have to look it up here in a second. But it is a sour. It's tart.
I think it's probably high because isn't Blue Sunday like 13?
No, Blue Sunday's only 6.6.
Yeah, that's a relatively
mellow.
Sessionable. Yeah.
Right, maybe it's Envious. It's one of their sours is pretty high ABV if I recall correctly.
Let me see if I can find it. So Dan, what do you got there?
I picked up one of your old favorites actually. I got the Distill Wild Sour Flanders Red. Its ABV is 6.1%, 15 IBUs, so they're definitely not going for happy, being a sour. And it's good. It really does have sort of that tart cherry, tart apple nose and flavor up front, and then it kind of mellows out into a little biscuity creaminess, and then it kind of goes dry and just kind of sends you on your way. It's a nice sipper. That's not even a sipper. I mean, it's 6.1. It's you can drink the hell out of it. But
what's the brewery on that, Dan?
Distill. They're Illinois brewery. I want to say they're out of Normal, Illinois, or
Southern Illinois.
Yeah.
Normal. Yeah, it's that Illinois state.
They've got a couple of those sours. There's a red can and there's a green can, and then they bottle a bunch of stuff out here.
Yeah, we don't get them out here at all.
No, I think they're just Illinois for now. They weren't even in Chicago for like the first year or two that they were open down there. They weren't sending anything up to us. So it's kind of new to our market too for the last year or two. Chris, your beer is only 4.9%.
Yeah, I'm looking at their website. It says less than 4, so I'll give you a 4.9 on that. It's I'll be feeling good. It'll be perfect for me. I got to get up tomorrow at probably about 3:30. So, I think it was first brewed in 2013. Willamette hops were added to the mash. No hops to the boil, and it is a wheat / it's a 50-50 meat 50-50 a mix of wheat and pale grains.
That's interesting.
So that's so did they sort of kind of is it? I mean, are they using a lactobacillus in that, or are they using bread to get the sour?
It doesn't say it does. I would say it's got probably both because it says it's a mischief of wild yeast and bacteria. So.
Oh yeah, that sounds like both.
In there. Yeah, it's got some acidity to it.
What they probably did was they probably used lacto and then they did an open fermentation on it.
Okay.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
So what are they called? What are those boats? Are they called the vessels? Are called boats? Something boats? Cool boats.
Cool ship. Yeah.
Cool ship.
Cool ship. That's right.
Not cool boat.
When it's small, in a small brewery, it's a boat. When it's a big brewery like Anchor Steam
it's
or something,
a schooner.
the ship.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's not a sailboat. It's a schooner.
it's clean tasting, doesn't leave any harshness on the palate. Got a little bit of acidity to it on the back. Tartness on the front, definitely right off the bat. It's a golden color. The head dyed real quick. It's nice. It's nice now that I've taken that it's like the first time you jumped in the pool when it's kind of cold out. Once I got that first sip down, I'm good now. It's tasting nice. It's nice. It's gonna be a nice, like you said, sipper. Even though it's not high ABV, I'm not gonna slam this sour. I'll have heartburn if I do that.
exactly.
But would you guys think that's probably not one to hang on to for more than a year or so? Because it's only 4.9. Or is it?
No, that doesn't matter. The sour beers hold up.
Sours, man, no. Mm-mm.
How do sours develop over age, regardless of ABV? Do they? What should we expect from a young one to a nice ripe old man?
No, it depends on the sour too. I mean, because
It depends on the brewery. It depends on where it's brewed. I mean, if you look at something like Cantillon, most of their lambics take a 3-year-old sour and blend it with a fresh sour, and then they'll put that in a barrel and age it for 6 months to a year, and then they bottle it and then they distribute it. So you got a 3-year blended with a fresh, aged for 6 months to a year in a barrel, and then distributed. If you're cellaring something like that, typically with age you're going to get more of, I'd say, an astringency or almost like a vinegarness to it. But again, it depends on, like, something like a Blue Sunday Sour that's oak aged. It's very oak forward fresh, but that oak mellows out. So then you have a nice oak and fruit blend. There's a lot of different ways they mature, and it really just depends on bottle conditioning, the brewery, what barrels they're using, how they ferment, if they're doing, 1 rack versus 2 racks. There's a lot of different variables of how they do it.
Okay.
well, and cellar management's a big one too. I mean, once that bottle gets to your house, there's a big difference between if you're to refrigerate it at like 30 degrees or at cellar temperatures or just at room temperature. So, because the reason why all these beers change over time is that the various chemical compounds in them are breaking down in different ways and at different rates depending on what the yeast kicked out versus what what the malt kicked out and everything. So, I have a book on it. I've got to read my book up on that because I'm definitely interested in selling more of these, but I'm not as familiar with the sours.
You
Yeah,
also
I just started putting more sours aside. Oh, sorry, AJ, go ahead.
No, it's okay. You also have straight cap versus cork and caged.
Mm-hmm.
Straight cap, obviously you're going to get earlier oxidation.
Right.
Because you're going to have more oxidation than cork and caged. Cork and caged, I love the way the Cantillon does it. They pretty much do it like wine barrels, where they'll actually just like jam a cork right down in the barrel and then cap over it. Like they don't even use the cage. So you can age Cantillons forever. But then you take something like, and I know it's not a sour, but I'm just going to bring it up. Like, you take something like a Westy 12 that's just capped, and, I've had like a 10-year-old Westy 12 that's absolutely phenomenal. But that's a Belgian quad, so, I mean, oxidation may actually do Belgian quads, more justice than a sour. But I'm a big fan of cork and cage sours, or like Cantillon does it, cork and capped. You could cellar those for, and a lot of sours even now put it on the bottle. Best by 2020 or 2032. If it's a Belgian sour, you've got at least 15 to 20 years that thing will sit in a cellar and age properly without spoiling.
Mm-hmm.
The other one I've got, I pulled it out. This is the 2011, and it doesn't look like they brewed it anymore. They're Envious. This is a Michigan.
Oh my God,
What's that?
send it to me.
This is I remember I picked this up. I didn't buy this in 2011. It came out in like 2013 or 2014 on the shelves, or maybe somebody.
I think I saw an 11 on the shelf just today.
Yeah, I was
Really?
gonna say, yeah. I think they released it late, but this is it's got Michigan pears. It says Michigan pears fuel a second fermentation, providing subtle nuance between grain and fruit, a slumber on oak, and local raspberries add depth and tartness. So this is a 7. This is
Actually, I really like
7.5.
that. You're gonna like that.
Well, I was gonna drink it tonight, and I was like, nah, let's go. I don't know how sweet that's gonna be, so I went with the one that actually has stamped sour. So.
If you don't mind me asking, what'd you pay for that last bottle?
Oh, I just scraped part of the price tag off too. It was probably I would say it's under 10. New Holland's usually not very expensive.
Yeah, I was gonna say this one's like $8.99 or $7.99. I forget what I paid. I might go back and buy a bunch more just to throw in the
You guys
closet.
suck.
Well, that's New Holland.
I pay like $12 or $13 out here for New Holland.
Well, and it's give or take, because we've got beers out here in Michigan that we get raped over. The out-of-state breweries, we get raped by Bell's in-state.
Well, that's Larry Bell for you.
Right, and then Founders is give or take depending on the beer, and then some of the beers, like beers that are distributed from out of state that are awesome, are Stone, Lagunitas. Somebody else I always tell people to grab is real cheap. It's just really price effective to buy their
Clown
stuff.
Shoes. Clown Shoes has got some really good barrel aged stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's not the one I was thinking of. There's somebody else that I was like, wow. I was telling my brother the other day, I'm like, if you're tight on money, I'm like Lagunitas, Stone, both of them are so cheap. And there was somebody else.
Lagunitas especially.
Yeah, Bear Republic's got some good ones. Bear Republic.
I don't know if we get them anymore.
I'll tell you, if you go with Lagunitas, we just got Lagunitas in PA. It's not in my area yet, but it's coming here in a couple weeks. But I used to go to Binghamton, which is like an hour and a half drive, and I can get like a 22-ounce Hop Stupid, which is a ridiculously good triple IPA, for $4.99. For a 22-ounce.
That's really cheap.
It's so cheap for a triple IPA. You're talking like 12, 13%. ABV, just a really, really good beer that you can even sell, or so you pick up like 5 or 6 of them for $5 a piece. Throw a couple in the cellar, let them age. Like Lagunitas is ridiculously priced for such good beer.
Their Imperial Stout too. That thing ages well, and those things again $4.99, like you said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what the third brewery is. There's another brewery out there, but in contrast for New Holland. They came out with their, I don't know when they started this, Pilgrim's Dole, their wheat wine that's barrel-aged. I accidentally found that last year and was blown away. I only bought 2 bottles, because 12-ounce bottles, because it was pretty damn expensive. I found it accidentally in the build-your-own 6-pack aisle, so they'd already been raped and pillaged through the actual 6-packs or 4-packs that came in.
Right.
So I only bought like 2 or 3 of them, I think, and I've got one left, and I was just like, wow, this is a really good barrel-aged wheat wine. It said it was first brewed in 2004, but last year was the first time I've ever seen it. So every time I go to the beer store, I look for it, because I think it comes out soon, like in the next couple months, I think, is when I bought it. So
who's that by?
New Holland. It's called Pilgrim's Dole.
Pilgrim's Dole.
Yeah, it's in kind of a creamy yellowish label, and it was really good. I liked it better than any of the Dragon's Milks I've had. So barrel-aged Dragon's Milk. So
I just picked up the raspberry one of that about a month ago. How is that? Is that something that you should sit on, or is that something you should have right away? Or
I don't
are
know.
You don't know?
Go ahead. Yeah, I don't know if I've had that one.
Okay, no, I was going to say, because I remember you talking about New Glarus and sort of the Kool-Aid of beers. So I didn't know if that meant that you were kind of averse to raspberries, generally speaking, or just the way that they used them at New Glarus.
Just at New Glarus for the most part. I get a little finicky. Like, what's the one by Founders? The raspberry one they did a couple years ago. They brought it out of retirement.
Oh yeah.
They're doing Blushing Monk.
No.
Oh.
No.
It just came out. It's got the woman on the label, right?
No. It's the chocolate.
No, not
That's the
luscious.
chocolate one.
Oh yeah,
No,
that's
it's luscious.
This
Yeah.
is starts with an R.
Rubeus.
Yes.
Yes.
So that one is borderline. I kind of like that one. That one wasn't too over the top, but it was still. It was. I think it was because it was a lighter mouthfeel. Where the New Glarus stuff really feels like you're drinking like syrupy, thick sweetness, and it's like
In the summertime, I can drink those. I know I just saw you talk on the Oso review that you're not a fan of some of those fruitier beers from New Glarus.
Right.
But I like them. I think they have their place. It's not your standard style. I wasn't always a big fan of lambics, and I've come to like them a little bit more. But
okay.
but if you're not into that, I can totally understand you not.
Yeah, it's just a
digging them.
preference. I don't say they suck. I think the reason I get on New Glarus is because they remind me of Bell's, only in Wisconsin. And the classic example is my buddy here in Battle Creek, who's a born and raised in Chicago guy. His relatives from the Milwaukee area, or even his other relatives, his in-laws that are in Rockford. Will come down and drive over and visit them, and they're always like pulling in like 6-pack, 12-packs cases of New Glarus, and it's like Spotted Cow, and then some of their beers are they're okay, they're not the greatest, but Spotted Cow, he actually lets the Spotted Cow sit there. It's got like dust on the bottles. He's like, I don't want to drink this shit anymore. I'm so tired of it. And so we always make the joke about Spotted Cow, and then it kind of has leaked into like Moon Man and what's the one with the two women on it.
That's Two Women.
What is it?
Yeah, that's their lager. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and all those, and then the next thing I hear, my next introduction was all these fruit beers from New Glarus. So I don't think I've had a good experience. I shouldn't say New Glarus is bad. It just they seem like everyone's like, oh yeah, New Glarus when they're from Wisconsin, and I'm like, I haven't been turned on by anything they've made yet. I'm like, I'm not big on the fruit beers, and the rest of their beers are kind of gateway craft beers to me. So I'm kind of not a big fan. But I'll try it. But
there's a reason why people from Wisconsin love that.
I had the shivers, and I shivered beer right out of my glass. Sorry about that.
You gotta get a hoodie on, man.
Jesus.
When you're in Wisconsin, you can go to any dive bar and they'll have at least Spotted Cow on tap, and it'll be cheap as shit. So a lot of people just love those beers, and for me, Spotted Cow is a good gateway beer. It got a lot of my friends into more hoppier beers. I got a friend who he won't touch anything that's not super hoppy. He'll never touch another Spotted Cow. But that was the beer that I gave him to get him out of Miller Lite Land. And
it's a gateway. So I say gateway craft brewery. That's what your gateway drug was before you got into the real good shit. So.
But it's also just a cream ale. It's not like it's a.
And I never knew that for the longest time. I'm like, cream ale, really?
I know, like a year and a half ago, I read that too, and we actually spun the wheel, landed on cream ales, and I looked up that style, and I was like, Spotted Cow, really? I was like, all right, I'm getting that shit, because I was in Wisconsin that very weekend anyway, so I was like, that's perfect. But yeah, I didn't know that either. So it's not like a style that's like that drives a lot of people anyways, but it is one of their biggest sellers. It's everywhere, all over Wisconsin. It's crazy.
Right.
No, and I mean, they put out some others that aren't, purely along either of those lines. Like their Blacktop Black IPA is really, I mean, it is better than a solid Black IPA. That is a great danky Black IPA, and it's worth actually seeking out. But yeah, I mean, I tend to agree. What's that?
If you want a good Black IPA, next batch of Swill Mill Black IPA that we do, Alaskan Blackout, I'll send you guys all a bottle of it. I actually had one of my good friends who's a regular Google Plus guy. He was up at my house, tasted it, and he basically said that we redefined the definition of a Black IPA.
Damn. Send a bottle all right.
Yep.
That sounds good.
15 ounces of hops in it. Yeah, I'll send you guys a bottle when we do another batch. It's probably one of our most expensive batches we do, but it's 12 ounces primary, 3 ounces dry hopped on it, and
Wow.
it's I don't like to brag, but it's probably in the top 3 black IPAs I've ever had in my life.
Nice.
Okay.
Well, my brother was just at Founders Day, and apparently I didn't notice this when I was there on Friday, but apparently they have all night IPA on tap.
Yeah. Yeah, they just put a YouTube video out for it like a couple weeks ago.
Did they? So the only thing I can, and he said it was like a 4 point something percent ABV. So I'm like, that's got to be all the IPA in the black version.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean those aren't bad because you know the odd side ales. You know how they have that Citra Pale Ale.
Yep.
That
Black
shit is.
citrus in there.
Yeah, they did a black Citra, so I've got one of those in the fridge that I've been trying to get over to Dan, but.
Yeah, I missed it when you.
I hate you guys for being that close.
What's that?
I said I hate all of you guys for being that close to Founders. Because you get all that like.
All of us were just in Michigan in Grand Rapids this past weekend, so it's probably something we can even talk about. We didn't make it to Founders though the whole weekend.
We didn't. No, Chris
I
did.
did.
Yeah, Chris did. So talk about some of the beers you had because I know that you had something special.
Yeah. So our plans weren't necessarily to hit Founders because we figured it'd be packed, and it was Friday night Friday afternoon we decided to hit Perrin, which AJ's been to. Perrin now gets packed all the time now. It's probably how dead it was when we went there, and they moved their whole bottling line around. I heard the bottling line that we
for like 6 months when I was there, right? Like they were only open for 6 months when I was out there, right?
Something like that. Yeah,
That's about when I was there then too.
Yeah, within a year. It was March of 2013. So,
Yeah.
Remember looking through the glass, there was that bottling line. Apparently, that's all gone and it's pushed way back. Somebody said that they didn't like the bottling line. It was too robust or whatever. They went for more of a small, compact version, and they've just now started actually bottling. They had I posted on Google Plus. They had 32-ounce cans of this corn lager that they made or something.
What?
And it was, yeah, they had them on. They had one can on every table, and
Is that
I actually had.
a version of Jester King's commercial Suicide?
It wasn't that. I just had that beer like 2 weeks ago. No, that was not the same. It actually tasted like a hoppier version of like Budweiser. I mean hoppier. I mean just slightly hoppier. So it was actually cool. And there was nothing big there. Typical beers that they had. Nothing special. We went down to the Mitten, which I've been to before as well. Mitten is one of the brewers is from another brewery in Grand Rapids called From the Hideout. And they're kind of a small version. If you've ever been to the Arcadia in Battle Creek, kind of a small version of that, really small. Bricks on the side, and kind of right off the beaten path of a residential area. Something you'd find.
Used to be an old firehouse, right?
Yes, good call. Yeah, good call. I saw that on the wall. Engine House number 9, I think, is what it was. Because I got excited because there was an Engine House number 9 in Tacoma, Washington when I lived out there, and I was like, "Is that the?" And I was like, "No, there could be more than one Engine House number 9, dumbass." I was like, all excited for a second. So their beers are solid, but they don't have a very big tap list. Great pizza. We had one beer there left. Yeah, it looked good.
Great pizza better than Arcadia?
All right,
I don't know.
It's good pizza from someone from Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right,
yeah.
I'm like that Arcadia brick oven pizza is legit.
Yeah, I didn't have the Mittens pizza, but it looked pretty damn good. So I can't make that judgment. Went to the hotel, screwed around, and then we took off and tried to get into Brewery Vivant, and it was like a long ass line. Long story short, went to a bunch of places, went to a hole in the wall to watch a coworker playing his band, and just by it was a hole in the wall dive bar on East Town of Grand Rapids, and just by coincidence, it was a New Holland beer night because it was Grand Rapids Beer Week, and one of the owners of New Holland was actually playing in one of his band. We did not sit around and watch his entire set, but he warmed up with a tuba. He's like, and I'm like, I started telling everybody, after I had a few beers, I'm like, dude, I swear, if they come out and do a freaking cover of Rage Against the Machine song with that tuba, I am fucking gonna go wild. I was just, I was excited.
Fantastic.
Yeah, they did not do that. I found out they did not do that, but they played a couple songs, and we had some good beers there. And we turned around and went to Brewery Vivant late at night. It was about just before 11. We had a couple beers. I had a barrel aged beer there that was not very good in terms of barrel aged, bourbon barrel aged. A lot of bourbon on it, but it's an awesome atmosphere.
I still wanted to go there when I was out there.
Yeah, I still haven't been there. I really want to go.
Yeah, the guys I was with, you guys met the other two guys. Or three guys, they were blown away when they walked in there. They were like, holy shit, this is an awesome little, it's not a big space, but it's awesome because it's in this like church feel. We were actually yelling up at the, I don't know what you call it, but it was like the area that's above the back of the church looking down on the church. The waitress said that her manager was up there, and I said, you mean...
No, the balcony?
Yeah, it's like a balcony area.
Where like the organ and the choir are?
Yeah, it'd be where the organ would be up top because it's a small. Okay. It's a small. It's supposed to be a chapel for a funeral home. And she said, "Oh yeah, my manager's up there." Blah 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 blah. And we pointed up there, and your manager works up there. And she's like, "Yeah." And somebody in my group looked at her and said, "Is your manager's name Jesus Christ?" She was like, "No." And then the rest of the night we're like yelling up, we're like, "Hey, Jesus!" And finally, one guy like stood up and like held his hands up and like waved at us and sat back down. But that's the benefit of showing up to a bar during last call. It's anything goes type thing.
After Michigan Beer Fest.
Nice. Yeah. Well, that was night one, right?
Yeah, and then on the way home.
Well, I just want to say hi to Kevin before we get into.
Go ahead.
Oh, hi.
What's up, Kevin? How you doing? You got a beer for us?
I do. It's sours, right?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You'll recognize this.
Yes, you will. Wait, what year is that one?
I've got this year's.
You got this. Okay, this is last year's. This is from last year.
All right.
Doolin beers. Doolin Blue Sundays.
You guys need to get out of that Chicago funk of New Holland and get some other shit, man. Jesus.
Hey, I brought other shit to the table. Come on.
I just bought this today, so hey.
Yeah. Well, mine's a year old. That's right.
Nice. All right, so we're just talking about the Michigan Beer Fest we were at last weekend. So, so Chris, that was your first night. Did you go anywhere else after that, or were you?
Yeah, we stumbled into Founders at like end of the night. Walk up to the bar. My buddy's in front of me. I leaned up to him and I said, "What'd you order?" No, Brian didn't go.
Okay.
I leaned up to him and I said, "What'd you just order?" And he goes, "CBS." And I go, "It's not on the fucking list. It's not on the menu." And he goes, "See that little white sticker in the corner?" And I looked over and I said, "Yes, it's CBS." And he goes, "That's enough for me." And the bartender's going to get it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So he walked away and I walked up and said, "I'll take a CBS." And he goes, "Okay." And he went back and got it. And that was the joke into day two with these two knuckleheads. Do you guys remember me talking to you in line?
Yeah.
I came back to find you guys, and you guys were gone. So, and CBS was out by then.
Are you serious? Yeah. We got some.
You did? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably why we had to turn around and run before people stamped over the top of our heads behind us in line.
Nice.
But no, the weird thing about that whole fest was that everything was so cold. It was hard to get all the flavors out of all the beers.
The darker beers,
CBS, yeah. Especially, the CBS was definitely that way.
Right.
But yeah, the Shorts barrel aged offering was a lot like that too. I know Mike and I were both kind of like, huh. But the barley wine that we got over, what was it? The Krampus one from Greenbush. Yeah, the barrel aged. That was that actually you could taste what was going on in that one a little better. That was good. But yeah, a lot of them they were just so cold. it was just like, where's the rest of the flavor?
So to give you guys a lead in of what they're talking about, the beer festival started for them 1 o'clock and it goes till 6. What time did they tap that? 4? That about right?
Yeah, about 4:30. Yeah, I think it was 4.
So I'm walking through with a couple of guys I'm with, and we're looking for crazy people to do little promos with my video camera for my beer show. And all of a sudden we just hit this freaking blockade, and there's tents. I mean, they're good. I don't know, 50 to 75 yards apart from each other of beer tent, one long tent with breweries underneath them. And all of a sudden I hit this blockade of just people standing in my way, and I'm like, the fuck is this? And somebody goes, oh, it's the Founders line. They must have tapped CBS. And I'm like, and I look, and this line goes almost all the way to the other tents. I'm like, oh, we got to get a video of this, because no one knows that this beer is available at Founders right now, and you don't have to wait in line. So I'm like, I gave my camera, I started recording, I gave it to one of the guys I'm with, and I'm like, follow me. And I'm like, hey, this is Mr. Luke and Brad. I'm standing here at the Michigan Winter Beer Fest 2015. This is the Founders CBS line. Let's go meet some people and see why they're waiting for it when it's at the brewery. So I'm like, hey, guys, what are you waiting for? And they're like, CBS, yeah. I'm like, yeah, the bathroom lines are longer because it's available at the brewery. And they're like, fuck you, man. So we go down the line. All of a sudden I stop at somebody and I look over. There's Dan and Mike standing there. Like, what's up, guys? They're like, I remember I just watched a video when we started this, and Mike, you're like, you're gonna fucking make fun of us, aren't you, fucker? I won't use that. Dan got all up and philosophical. He's like, what line are you in? Do you know what line you're in? He's like,
That's right.
You remember that?
I do remember that.
What's great about that, though, is all the lines. No lines were a burden at all. Like, it was like, we got that CBS like really quickly. So it was like, if that was the worst of the lines, then I'm okay with it, because it was a fun fest. I loved it.
Oh yeah, I'd go back next year, absolutely.
I'm gonna put a leash on my cell phone, but other than that,
were you drunk texting?
No, I lost my phone.
I texted him at one point. Wow. I'm sitting at a cigar bar. No, was I at a cigar bar at the time?
That was after.
No, you were at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh, B-Dubs, the phone rings. I pick it up. Hello, this is Janet from Holiday Inn. I'm like, and we're not staying at Holiday Inn. We're staying at another place. I'm like, yeah.
Right.
You just texted this. I was like, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, what can I help you with? And she's like, you just texted this phone number, and I'm like totally confused because I forgot already. I had too many beers. I'm still like, I texted what? Huh? What are you talking about? And she kept talking to me. Finally, she's like, this phone was left on the floor or something at Holiday Inn, and you just texted it. I'm just calling you back to let you know that, hey, maybe you can get a hold of this person. And I'm like, now the neurons finally met, and I realized what the hell she's talking about. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll take care of it. So that was kind of
we were on a bus.
Chris saved your cell phone?
What?
Chris saved your cell phone.
Yes.
Well, he
That's
let me
awesome.
know that. Yeah, he let me know that it was at the hotel because it I was on the bus on the way back to the hotel, and I had just texted my wife saying that we're getting back and we were just gonna change and we were gonna head out and grab some dinner. I'm like, we get in the room and I can't find my phone anywhere. And I don't know, Danny started texting my wife, letting her know that I can't find it. She's like looking at it on the Apple, Magic that they've got, and she's like, it's at the hotel. She's like, I'm looking at it right now, and it's like blinking above the hotel. So I'm tearing the room.
Didn't we have the same story in Milwaukee where we were texting her looking for your phone?
Maybe, probably.
Shut up.
I wish I had Budweiser and I left my phone at.
No, so it was like laying outside in the snow, probably outside while I was inside tearing the room apart. But yeah, someone turned it in. I got it back. We were at Mitten when we got the message from Chris, and I was like,
oh, you're at the Mitten?
Yeah.
You know,
But-
yeah.
Yeah. So
We should have totally met each other. We weren't that far apart, and I didn't want to drive, but we weren't. I could have walked to your hotel literally, or we could have met. I don't know where we could have met in between there, but
here's my advice: stay at that hotel next time because
God,
that's where all the brewers stayed, and that's where all the brewers were partying in the lobby hotel.
Really?
Actually,
and-
oh, no, go ahead.
No, please.
Because I was just going to say, do you remember King Brewing out of Pontiac?
I've heard King.
Okay, and do you know Scott King? He's now got a new brewery, Milk King It Productions.
Milking
MIP.
it, yep.
Yeah, he at a certain point, I was in an argument with a beer distributor down there about the brand future of what was it? It was Corona, and I was being an ass. I'll be honest about it. I was just kind of.
I was a little nervous. I was sitting between you, and I was just like,
I know.
"All right, you guys fucking have fun." I don't know.
but so I'm being an ass. This guy is not being an ass back, but is tolerating it. And then Scott King shows up, and the distributor turns to him and goes, "Hey guys, this is Scott King. He is Michigan Brewing." Scott King proceeds to just go on this tirade about how he is in fact Chicago or Michigan Brewing, and he's going to kill everybody.
It was really funny.
Does it mean kill everybody with his beers? Is that what he's talking about?
I'm not so sure that was it.
Or just actually like machete murder people.
I think that's maybe closer to the truth, right there.
He's been doing
and we'll be good.
He's been doing Milking It production stuff for a while. Like that, I've got at least. I think I've only got one. I don't think I've done anything else. I've got one of his beers as one of my early Mr. Liquid Bread reviews, and he's not killing it. Let's just say that.
Well, he's fun. He's fun to hang out with.
That's cool. I know the bar you guys are talking about because we hung out in there last year on. I don't know if we did it. No, we did it. We hung out there. What night did we hang out there? And there was nobody in there last year. But I don't think it was Saturday night. It might have been. No, we didn't go up there Friday night. It had to be Saturday night. Me and one of my buddies walked down there, and it was like hardly anybody. It's like a couple dudes picking up a chick, and that was about it. So that's impressive that they're there this year. That's cool,
dude. And they had some decent beers there. They had like what's the Shorts beer? The one that they have like they have two versions of it. It's like a pale ale, I think, either a pale ale or an IPA. The Controversial, that's the one. So that was on tap, and then the other one was the
Kona?
It was in bottles. The other one they had in bottles.
Yeah, the one that they had on bottles was the Woodmaster. We were the first person to order that shit from their stock too, because he just bought it, and I saw their YouTube video on that one. That's like their Imperial Brown Ale.
Yeah,
so it was like maple syrup.
That's the one.
That's not the one that you're peeing on, is it?
Yeah, that's the one everyone says that's me peeing on the tree for some reason. I don't know why. That's the label is some dude like pissing on the tree.
The one of the latest episodes of their shortcast on their podcast, they were talking about when they put that beer out, and people were like, "So what's that guy doing to the tree on your label?" And basically it's a portrait or it's a painting of a photo of the guy who I guess he does a lot of the carpentry work that they used for the whole pub. So. He was like, "What are you talking about?" And he looks at the label and he's like, "Oh shit," because it looks like it looks like a little.
No, that whole story is a complete lie. It's actually a portrait of Chris Phillips pissing on a tree.
That's an old hangout joke that people made about me because I was drinking that one night and everyone's like, "Oh, it's
joke, man. It's legit. It looks like you're pissing on a tree." Everybody right now that's watching this, go and look up the label of Woodmaster from Shorts and tell me this is not Mr. Liquid Bread pissing on a tree.
So there was we had a bunch of other stories. I had right after I saw you guys, we started walking towards the next tent. I had a guy walking by me, middle-aged guy, probably around 50, walking by, and I see him go. as he's walking in front of me, and I stopped. I started to stop because he was perpendicular to me, but then when I saw him like getting ready to upchuck, I stopped. He walks by me, keeps walking, never puked, and I lean back to my buddy and go, "That dude almost puked." I took like 2 more steps and I hear, "I fucking did not almost puke," and we look over it, and here's this guy with this shit-eating grin like, "Oh yeah, I almost did puke." And that was awesome. I wish I would have had like a GoPro just running because that would have been the best ever. There was the brewery from a brand new brewery out of Kalamazoo called One Well. The head brewmaster was in like this royal blue or light blue kind of royal blue wizard outfit with moons and stars all over it. I didn't even go to One Well. I heard they actually had some killer beers and I never got a chance to go over there. But it's 6 o'clock. The brewers are starting to pack up and stuff like that, and here's this fucking dude hugging other brewers, can hardly stand up, and I look at my one buddy that was a brewer at Old Mill, and he's like, I'm like, dude, I got to get an interview of this guy because he is going to be so incoherent. He's like, yeah, and then we turn around, and he's diving under the bat. He went behind like where the brewers was that he was hugging, went underneath the tent, and like went out the back, and I'm like, what should we do? You go to one end, I go to the other end, we look for him? He's like, I don't know, and I'm like, you know what? It's 6 o'clock. I'm drunk. I got the balls. I'm following him. So I go walking right in between the brewers. They kind of look at me. I just keep walking, and I pick up the tent, and guess what? He's pissing on the tire of some like Chevy truck behind the tent. and as soon as I peek my head out like this, I see him turn around and look at me. He's like, and I go, you pissing? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, I'm waiting for you in here. And I put the tent back down. And I walk back.
I'm waiting for you in here?
Oh my God. Interview.
Okay. Yeah,
he doesn't know that.
He comes
Did
back
you get
through.
an interview? I need to know.
No, he was so bad.
That's not creepy at all.
I gave him a hug. Like he gave me a hug, and I was like, all right, I'm giving you a hug. I have no idea who you are. I want to interview you.
I'm sure you didn't wash your hands.
No. Yeah, that's true. And he goes, all I hear him is something like, follow me. And I start to follow him like 3 or 4 steps, and he's going between like across that 75-yard or 50-yard space in between that tent and the next tent. And I just watch him do this, like serpentine all the way back and forth across the ice. And I finally stopped and just.
He's a wizard.
I got it on video. I stopped and recorded him making the serpentine walk all the way back, and I'm like, I'm not following him because this will be like career ending if I interview him and put him on a show. It'll just be like, it'd be like talking like what's this Adam Sandler in one of his damn movies where he's like
But he would have been like Gandalf to Purple.
oh, he was trashed. In fact, my buddy said, "Did you get an interview with him?" And I'm like, "No." I couldn't do it. It would have been too mean. So it was a great.
Did you get anyone?
The festival just went downhill after that. Yeah.
Did you get anyone good for future promos?
Yeah, we got some good ones. We got 2 couples that were just excited to get on. In fact, they were off camera, and I was trying to get the 2. If you saw the Saugatuck Brewing Company bottled girls that were in foam bottles, like
Yeah,
body.
I saw those. Yeah.
I've gotten an interview of them before, not the same 2 girls, different girls at the time, but the same 2 Saugatuck bottles. And normally they're wearing a Neapolitan stout bottle, and I've got them from years ago, and I've never done a Neapolitan review, and I want to use it for that. So I walked up to them, approached them, told them what was up, told them I've got an old one, I want to get a new one. They had 2 different foam bottles, and they were like, yeah, cool. And about that same time, this 2 couples come walking up, and like, yeah, we want to get your picture with these foam bottles, and all of a sudden they look at me and they're like, you can get your picture next. And I'm like, no, I'm not trying to get a picture, I'm trying to get an interview with them. And I told them why, and they're like, we want to be on your show, and they're like, yeah, and so they get their pictures with the Neapolitan girls, and then they wanted to do the review, and I said, hold on, you're on deck, let me get the girls first, and then you guys are next, and so they end up doing a promo. That was actually pretty cool. We got a Viking guy he was the first guy, and I'll finish with this one, but he was total Viking helmet, huge ass hipster like beard.
I saw that dude.
Like fur around his neck with like this cape on and stuff. And I said, hey, can we get a promo? This is what I do. And he's like, I don't know, man. Really kind of quiet, subdued. And I'm like, here, he put some sunglasses on or something like that, even though that wasn't going to fucking help. They'd still know. And he's like, well, my job, I work with a library, and I'm afraid some of my colleagues would know who I am.
You're in a fucking Viking costume.
And I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm talking to him, talking to it. And his buddy's handing him sunglasses, like, do it, dude, do it. And finally, I'm like, here, I'll give you a sticker to do it and stuff like that. And he goes, so what you're saying is you'll give me a sticker for my career going to shit. And I was like, that's pretty shitty. My bad, dude. I didn't realize it. I didn't look at it like that. He's like, fuck it, I'll do it. So he puts on these sunglasses, and he's real still kind of subdued.
He makes you see his side of things in that he still goes with it just for a second.
Right. Yes, he does. He's sipping his beer, still really subdued. Finally, I start rolling the camera and I get it ready, and he's like, all right, I'm ready, I think. And he's like, can I cuss? Like, dude, yes, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Just, say you're watching Mr. Liquid Bread at the end. I don't care what you do. Like, okay. And then all of a sudden, the little devil guy comes out because he's like, welcome, fucking motherfucking dude. And he just goes off on just like a spaz rant for like 10 seconds. You fucking Mr. Liquid Bread. Yeah. And he's like, oh no, he finishes with the Little John. What's the Little John? Hey yeah, or whatever. At the end, I'm like, whoa! I'm like, that was actually really awesome. I was afraid you were gonna be like this library guy, but like your inner demon came out. You did a little John at the end. That was actually pretty good.
What's funny is he was worried. This was the only way he could do that for you because he was worried that he was going to lose his job.
Right.
But if he had just done it normally and just not sworn,
exactly,
he'd be fine. But he couldn't do it any other way. So he's like, if I'm doing it, I'm going to put my job in danger.
Well, that's the thing is he actually said at one point he says, you know what? None of the people I work with will probably watch your show anyway, so fuck it. And so he said, touche. All right, I'll give you that.
Little does he know that every person he works with watches Mr. Liquid Bread.
That's right.
So yeah, I got a handful or two of them. They're pretty good. That was a good one.
But I have a very important question. Did you run into Macklemore again?
No, I did not run into Macklemore this year.
All right.
And if you guys didn't see, I posted it last year. This guy, at the end of the beer festival, he walks behind me as I'm walking into a tent. I just catch a glimpse of him, and it was when Macklemore was really big, and like all his songs were out on the radio. And I turn around and I look at somebody and go, hey, did you see that? It was Macklemore. And the dude totally heard me, stopped, turned around and went, what's up? And I'm like, I get a picture with you? And I'm like, he's like, yeah. And so I got a picture of my arm around him. I'm like, yeah. And it totally looks like Macklemore, only like
legit. If you just really quick look at it, it's Mr. Liquid Bread and Macklemore.
That's what it looks like. I showed people that. I'm like,
magnifying glass, examine it to tell it's not Macklemore.
No, it's not that close, but it's pretty damn close, and it's like it's a doppelganger. And I'm like, I show people, so I'm like, hey, did you see the picture of me and Macklemore? And they're like, really? And I show them, they're like, it's not fucking him. And they look at it and realize, no, it's not him. No Macklemore this year, no.
Did you get any Teen Wolf video?
No, I didn't. Is this the guy from Space Jam?
Yeah, he was with the girl in Space Jam, but the other guy was Teen Wolf, the guy that had the.
Oh, that was. No, I didn't get him. I never did.
We had like all the fur on, but he also had the basketball jersey on too.
That was so awesome.
And he had like a little speaker on his chest, and he was playing the song from the end scene when they're playing in the basketball game.
I wanted the Space Jam Bugs Bunny, but I never did see him after the line out front. Trying to think who else I got. We got a guy that had this fucking crazy meat shit on it. I mean, he wasn't eating pretzels and meat shit. He had like wheels of cheese, sausages. Then he had little bitty oranges, and then like loaves of bread at the bottom. And then he had a buddy that had the same shit. We got the Wolverine.
Like 3 different kinds of beef jerky on you, right?
Yeah. Well, we had a couple different, and then meat, the cheese, and the pretzels. Then we had we got the guys, all the people that were in the Wolverine hockey jerseys. Do you remember seeing them?
I didn't see them.
Like black and yellow Wolverine Brewing Company logos on the front, but they were like big hockey jerseys. They did a kind of a cool little thing. I'm trying to think who else we did. It was a good. I mean, it started out slow. We got the Viking guy, and that one kind of got it going, and then we had a lull there again, and then right at the end, we just went on this tear of. We had a guy, a Notre Dame guy. He had the golden helmet and a big onesie of just Notre Dame pajamas on.
I saw that.
Yeah, so he did one. I'm looking right now. What else we did? We had another guy. That's a meat guy. Trying to see what else we had here. Wolverine people, Saga Talk, the couple. The couple. Oh, we got the guy that, the guy with the megaphone that was telling everybody, hey, when.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We got him. He did one, the real professional one. He knew our one buddy that's in the Brewers Guild, and I walked up to him and said, hey, will we do a promo, and we as well do a promo? And he's like, at first he's like, I think he knew who I was because I think I've ruffled a few feathers, in the Michigan beer community a little bit. Bell's is obviously one of them. And so he kind of looked at me and gave me a look, but he's like, yeah, I'll do one. And he did a real professional one that was real nice, and it was kind of cool. I told him to go get I wanted him to do it. What's that?
Do you use the megaphone on the promo?
No, I wanted him to. I said, can you go get the megaphone? Because that would have rocked. If he would have got there and go, yeah, watch it! Just like yelling at the megaphone. Because everyone knows him with the megaphone. He's like yelling. He's like, get your IDs out! If you don't have your IDs out, you're fucking stupid! Stuff like that. Like yelling at everybody. Yeah, it was cool. Tibbs Brewing Company, which is a little nano brewery in Kalamazoo. We got them doing a little something, a couple things for me, walking up and grabbing a beer and them saying, hey, you're watching Mr. Liquid Bread. I'm trying to see who else we got. There's the Wizard. Wizard's fucking trashed. He is so fucking trashed.
No, that's got to be near the end.
I think that's it. I didn't get as many as I normally get. We had
It was
trouble.
a good time, man. I would do that
a good time.
in a heartbeat. It was.
Yeah, get your tickets early again next year, and yeah, we'll meet up again next year, and we'll try to do some stuff before or after the beer fest. So
yeah.
I
want to go to brewery.
If you do a recording with him, he actually hits the record button.
Yeah, fuck you. AJ saying that because when he came out here, we did a beer review on the Mr. Liquid Bread set in my garage of Dogfish Head's
Positive Contact, and we knocked it out, done, over with, and then when I went back to look at it, I realized I turned the recording off at some point, and then turned it back on, and then when I actually thought we were starting it, we actually turned it back off. So I never recorded the whole fucking review.
Well, we kind of dominated the show with Michigan Beer Talk.
Sorry.
Kevin, how's that no, don't apologize. That's what we wanted to do. I was just saying, Kevin, I feel bad because Kevin hasn't been able to participate much. How's the?
That's right. I tuned in to hear about it. That was my reason for getting on. I expected to hear. This is great. This is really good. I didn't remember having this. I know we had it when we were at New Holland, and I remembered it just being good, but I didn't really remember it. I like it a lot. It's I don't know. It just got that. I'm so not used to drinking sours that every time I have one, it tastes so unique.
And the thing you've got the year old one. I've got this fresh one.
If we were going to drink it together, we should have been close enough to share half a glass.
I know. I got the 14 still, but I'm gonna go buy some more of this because it's fucking good, and I'm gonna put it in the closet.
I guess like 4 years at least.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing about that one too is that it's like an $8 bomber. It's not like a $15 bomber, like 90% of the crap that's getting released.
It is up here.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I think I actually paid more than that. I think I paid like $17 or $18 for a bottle of it.
Oh wow.
If I buy some more, I'll put one aside for the what's the Alaskan black IPA you're talking about?
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Well, we should probably spin the wheel soon. We got sours still, but I'll take that off for now. What?
As you're doing this spin the wheel, let me ask you real quick, Dan and Mike, how many tokens do you guys have left over?
I have 11.
Nice.
Dude,
I got rid of exactly
given
like
back to me I got a token given back to me because of the hat I was wearing.
Actually, I take it back. I have 14. I only had one taken, and it was at the worst brewery we went to, too. You remember that one, Mike?
Which
It's
brewery?
I forget the name of it, but they had like an organic farm, and they were and they were up in I want to say they were up in Traverse City.
They were in the back tents all the way to the right.
They were.
Yes. Oh God.
I thought they were good. They said that it was somebody said, "Dude, we're not going there." And I was like, "Okay, is it that bad?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's bad."
Oh God. One beer was worse than the next. And they were playing it up too, and then they were very demanding about the tokens. It's like,
you're gonna put your token in.
So FYI, I found out from one of the brewers that the two of the brewers that brew for the same brewery, the tokens have no value at all to the brewers. They could have no tokens, and it doesn't matter. All it is it's just like what we've talked about before, like with Beer Camp in Chicago. It's just a legality thing with the state. So don't ever feel like you're jipping the brewery off, because the guys I was talking to, they were watching the lady come around. There's a lady from the guild or whatever that comes around and grabs tokens out of everybody's tin and puts them in some kind of bucket and moves on to kind of clear them out. She walked by their tin because it wasn't full enough, and so he looked at her walk away, and she got far enough away, and he ripped the token thing open, grabbed a handful of them, stuck them in a cup behind their thing, closed it back up, and that's what they used the rest of the day to drink beers. When they were off shift, they would walk around and just hand these tokens. They handed me a whole crap. They're like, "You need some tokens?" And they just, I'm like, "Yeah, thanks."
Sweet.
So don't ever, if you go to it again, don't ever worry about it. It has no bearing on the beer.
Yeah, on our way there, the shuttle, there was a couple older gentlemen that were they were like, "Yeah, we got a shit ton of tokens from last year that we're gonna bring in and use." I was like,
right.
That's really funny, because I go to a brew fest up in New York every year. It's called Tap New York, and they give you this little card when you first go in, and I think the card has it's like one of those things where you stamp the card, so it has like 8 numbers on it, so you can only have 8 4-ounce beers, and once your card's full, you can't have any more beers.
Oh.
I leave every year with my card unstamped.
Nice.
And I drink 37 beers the whole day. I actually have I go up there so much. I know a bunch of guys from the Tap New York. It's only New York breweries, so I know a bunch of guys up there. They're all like, come behind the table. So I'm not even in the crowd, and they're just handing me bottles of here's batch 1 of this barrel aged stuff that we don't even know about. Nobody knows about. We just released it right now. Here, have some. Here's 37 beers of a barley wine that's 27%. Gee, thanks, guy.
Yeah.
Good thing I got a bus. You know.
Now that's kind of where the letter of the law meets the spirit of fuck the law.
Crap beer, yeah.
All right, AJ, you're a special guest this evening. Let's give me a style to throw on the wheel.
Oh man. Well, I actually want to. I'm hoping to maybe come here more often if you would have me. So hopefully I'm not a special guest, but
no.
I'm trying to think of a weird style. Trying to think of a weird style right now to throw on.
Let me read some of what we got on here. We've got the wild card, which means if we land on that, you can bring whatever the fuck you want. Collaboration, anything local to you. We got barley wine, a beer you can't pronounce. Brandon has always got the malt liquor.
Yeah, he told me about that before. I was talking to him before.
The Doppelbock, a label with anything to do with death on it. Strange ingredient. Milk Stout, Brown Ale, local brewery seasonal release. Everybody brings the same brewery. We've done that once.
Okay.
Corked and caged, a beer with balls, and Irish.
I'm sorry. What is a beer with balls?
I don't remember what the beer with balls is either.
I believe that was added because of the what was the April Fool's beer that they actually made at. The one with ball, they made it literally out of a beer.
Pig testicles or mountain oysters.
It was the Rocky Mountain oyster stout.
That's gonna be hard to get for anybody.
Well, no,
I was like,
I did actually have the Walking Dead beer that they did with the smoked goat brains.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, I forget what brewery it was, but I was at a place, and a guy brought a bottle of it. He got like 2 bottles of it, and I kind of felt weird drinking smoked goat brains, but it was really good. So, all right, how about I just anything over 13%?
Nice.
Whoa. Okay.
Or
We've done
high,
10% or
high
higher.
ABV.
Yeah, we've done 10% or higher, so I like this.
Let's go 13.
That's like you got to get an Avery barrel-aged beer, or you're not even going to get close, really.
Or like a Dogfish 120, a Worldwide.
Oh yeah, no, there are a couple others.
I've got a sweet 16 and a sweet 17 schmaltz.
There you go. That's right.
Yeah, the schmaltz jubilations
Yep.
are usually over 13.
FYI, it looks like
I've got a 2005 Jubilation in the closet.
That was not. That was probably like 5%.
nope. It's 50, if it's 15, it's well, no,
2005.
2005.
Yeah, that's probably not a really high one. You're
13
right.
was 16, so 15.
I got a lot of
14,
shitty beers from
13,
05 that I shouldn't have put in the closet. I'll tell you that one. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing back then. I'll tell you that.
I have those too. They're still downstairs in the basement.
All right, we're spinning, guys. What are we landing on here? Can you guys read it, or do I have to pull it back?
Irish beer, just in time for the holidays.
Oh
That
man,
was Kevin's edition last week, so that comes in timely.
yes, it
Nicely
does.
done.
Perfect. Wow, that's kind of
Kevin,
weird.
you'll have no shortage of those for the next month after this year's party.
No, yeah, I've already got.
If I take a Dogfish 120 and just add food coloring to it, is that good?
That's like green.
We don't enforce the rules very well here.
Well, that's actually really funny because when I was talking to Brandon before, I said, "Brandon, are you doing the show?" And he's like, "No, I don't have a sour." And I said, "Do you have a lemon?" What? I said, "Do you have a lemon?" Like, he's like, "No, I don't." I said, "Well, you could have just took a stout and like squeezed the lemon into it, and it would have been a sour stout. You would have been fine."
Brandon is afraid of coming on an episode where he doesn't have the beer of that style. I tell him, like, come on, man.
Shit,
if you're watching,
I pop in and I'm like, I'm drinking Diet Coke.
Yeah, exactly.
Dan's been drinking water the last 2 weeks.
Last 2 episodes have had water. Yeah, exactly.
You're like, oh, it's dark beverages tonight. You're drinking a Diet Coke. It's perfect.
I was drinking a crap ton of Nugget Nectar. Like, I was doing like Nugget Nectar like it's my job, and he's like, "Oh, Mike's not gonna care if you join with the Nugget Nectar. He's gonna want to hear about the brewery and all this." I'm like, "Dude, I have a whole basement of sours. I could just walk downstairs and grab like 4 or 5 of them." But he's like, "No, just drink a Nugget." I'm like, "No, man, I'm gonna start with the theme. That's the theme." So, thank you guys for having me. I mean,
yeah.
I would like to do this on a more regular basis if you will have me.
Please do. I'll make sure that you're on the list, and you'll always get an invite. So, anyone else that watches this after the fact on YouTube, for any of our subscribers, thanks for watching. Please like any of our videos. If you like this episode, comment and let us know what you like. If you want to hear us talk about some specific topic, let us know. But appreciate you guys following us on everywhere that we're at, which is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and podcastcondition.com, where we post all these episodes as well. But again, AJ, Chris, Dan, and of course Google Plus, and that's actually, if you ever want to join us, reach out and ask me to join your circles, and we'll get you on there. And we'd love to have anyone new joining on the shows as always. So cheers, you guys. Thanks for joining, and we will be drinking some Irish beers. So
Cheers.
Cheers.